Hello guys, this is F.A. Juma. Welcome back to the Holistic Living Pursuit. Of course, here with me, please.
Okay, Kola Kodek, thank you so much for having time for this conversation. I'm a computer scientist, public speaker, or if you like, should I say software developer or software engineer, for easy understanding. And for this session, what are you going to discuss about?
No, before even you go further, you've mentioned what you are doing. I have also to mention what I'm doing. Okay, yes. So F.A. Juma, for those who people don't understand, F.A. stands for finance analyst. So that means I'm coming from a finance background. So I'm dealing with the investments, economics, and all that. So anything to deal with that, I'm the go-to.
You're the guy.
Yes. So to today's topic, we are going to look at in a family, how should we share costs? Okay, or how should we share responsibilities? Who should do what and who should do what? So please stick around, enjoy the conversation. Now back to you. We have costs, because for you to live, we have to pay bills.
Yes.
And of course, from my background, you see, your cost to you is an investment to someone else.
Definitely.
You understand?
Yeah.
When you pay rent, it is a cost to you. Then the other person is what? The landlord. To the landlord, it is an income. Okay? So that is also confirm the rule of duality. Now, so if these responsibilities are not well defined and not well communicated, then this usually is the major causes of domestic wars. So we want, as the pioneers or the champions of holistic living, we want to give you the opinion on the things that you want to do or how you are supposed to do it. Okay, so it will be advantage to those people who are starting, but of course to even those people who are moving on, you can readjust. Yes, you need to be flexible in your family. When you learn new things, then you implement, and with that, all of us will be having holistic living. Now, from my background, I can say that we can divide the costs or the responsibility. We can give them heads. We can talk about, we have rent, we have water bill, we have electricity bill. Of course, we have telephone bill but that one for the hustlers, no? Telephone bill. We have transport allowance. We have school fee for children.
Food.
We have meals. We have clothing.
Transport.
We are transport allowance. Of course, all these things. How should we allocate for them? And of another thing also is, okay, do we have two sources of money or two sources of revenue? Your wife and yourself, or we only have source of revenue? Okay. Assume all of you are working.
Okay. When I'm working, yes, and my wife is working, one, we have two sources of revenue.
We have two sources.
We can't deny that.
Yes.
It's economically right.
Yes.
We have two sources of revenue.
Yes.
But the utility, or how we utilize or we deploy these resources,
yes,
to work,
yes,
that's when now difference comes. That's when the difference comes.
Keep it there. Now, who should pay rent?
Who should pay rent?
Yes.
Whether the wife is working or the husband is working, regardless of the situation.
Who should pay rent?
The principle is, yes, the husband should pay full rent.
Nice.
It's not a 50-50 thing.
Guys,
full.
For those who are seeking holistic living, you must pay rent. So if you're not paying rent, you are not living holistic living.
Maybe they have built.
They have built what?
They built the home. So they
okay, who built the home? That take me back to who built the home?
Who built the home?
Or who should build
husband?
The husband.
Yes.
So when the title deed is bearing the name of the wife,
the husband.
The husband.
Yes.
Of course, the holistic living, If the title deed is featuring 2 people, problem.
Okay.
I know some people will have a contrary opinion, but
they really
that is
question
the thing.
The
But
principle is
yes,
shelter.
Yes.
Where you are taking your shelter.
Yes.
Whether you've built your home.
Yes.
You are paying rent.
Yes.
Whichever the situation.
Yes.
You should be the one taking care of that cost.
If you say you mean a man.
The man,
yes.
The husband should be the one taking that cost.
Right. Let's move to the next cost head. That is?
We can pick the basic one. Should we go with the basic one?
We've talked about rent.
We've covered the rent.
Okay, we have electricity bill. That was part of the rent.
Okay, it can be or
Is it part of the rent?
Well, if we tackle it as together, it should.
It should be part of... Okay, let's say this.
Bills.
Rent,
water, power, water.
Those supposed to be part of the rent.
Cover it once.
Part of the rent.
The man.
We are done with the rent.
Yes.
So that is the man. So if a man is earning 100K, already some...
Wow.
Okay.
You see, even if your wife is working and is earning whatever amount.
Yes. Yes.
Suppose you didn't start right.
Yes.
That even your wife is earning more than you.
Yes.
That is a mistake by far.
Yes.
But
yes,
you should still see how you can stand your
So
ground.
even if your wife is earning 150,000 Kenya shillings in the context of Kenya, and you are earning 60,000 Kenya shillings,
in the first place,
you should just pay the rent. But of course, what? Okay.
Let me give you an illustration. How the difference may come.
Yes.
I'm working with an assumption that you started right. You've been following us. You know the principles that you should do to make sure you start right.
Yes.
So by the time you're starting right,
yes,
you are okay.
Yes.
You are the one catering for all these bills,
yes,
the rent that you've just mentioned
yes,
as a particular.
Yes.
Then something happens.
Yes.
You get sacked.
Yes.
Or you lose a job or anything like that.
Yes.
Happens, right? And probably as of that time, you've not gone to the stage that you have an extra income source.
Yes.
And then your wife happens to be now earning
the
breadwinner, and you don't. In that case, we can give the room for the wife to do the payment
as you adjust.
But that does not mean that you sit down and relax. You don't sit down and relax because you know you'll pay it. Actually, I see it in some marriages. Women make joke with it that they take it as if they've loaned you. They're like, I've paid it. I've paid the rent now, but to make sure when you get money, you return. I
have an opinion so that you ensure that you remain holistically. So what you do, don't just focus on your job, because already you've known that there some circumstances can come whereby you can lose a job due to economic cycles. Yes, there's sometimes that the employers are really downsizing, so you might be the victim there. So when you are getting your money, that's where you also need to be organize your finances, so that when it's not rainy season, you do what? You do the investment. You save for the future, so that even if, for example, we say that your employment contract is terminated, you can still have some revenue streams which will make you still maintain the leadership. You still be
the provider,
the breadwinner for that family. Now you've mentioned that rent, we say that a man should now pay.
Negotiable.
Rent,
all that.
Now let's go to school fees. Yes.
Just there's a place that you've not addressed or we've not addressed when I was talking about. There are some people may be willing to invest.
Yes.
Right.
Yes.
But they're living the hand to mouth thing. Whatever they earn. Yes. Whenever they foot the bills, it's done. I'll say
a contrary opinion to that, because you see, money will never be enough, and there is a principle which also says that when income increases,
lifestyle
also increases, or revenues are all. Costs are usually also rising. So costs rise with increase in revenue. So what we need to do, for example, myself, I started saving even before I started working when I was in high school. It doesn't mean that I was on a stable payroll. So it's just about mindset. This is about mindset and principles.
That is what I wanted you to bring clear to our viewers.
Yes.
That it's not about how much you are earning.
Yes.
Let this be a habit that you see.
Yes.
If I'm earning this particular amount of money, it shouldn't be fully used for the utilities or for the bills.
Yes.
You get?
Yes.
Because if that happens, then in an assumption that something happens like COVID, a pandemic just comes.
Yes.
You may not know your fate.
Yes.
And so many people died that time, not necessarily because they got sick, but maybe due to pressure they were undergoing or any other thing that came as of a result. So please build that habit. Please have the habit of whatever little you get, have that habit of picking something and putting it somewhere. We have so many vehicles to put your money.
Yes.
And I believe we'll also have to handle that.
Yes, we'll handle that when we'll be talking about finances purely and the investment vehicles. Yes, we'll handle that.
Yeah.
So just to add on what you just mentioned, like he has just mentioned, of course, you usually interact with me, so at least you can have the advantage of having a glimpse of finances or investments. So you're a good student anyway. So, okay. So what we are saying is, it's not how much you're earning, it's about your mindset. Okay, so if you just organize yourself, just like as you would wish or you would have a goal, that intrinsic power that is pushing you to pursue a goal, it should also push you to seclude some amount for future. Yes, so even if you are earning, let's say for example, net of 40, so what you can reduce some of the expenses like utilities, for example, rent and all that. Of course, rent is one of the most huge expense.
It's rent then followed by fee when you've started paying.
Sure. So you can delay fee. Or should you start giving birth and yet you are still not prepared? So you can delay that.
Yes.
So for the people who are pursuing holistic living, you can delay that. So just ensure you go within. You grow slowly. Don't be aggressive in terms of expenses. You should be aggressive in terms of revenue generation. Now, we've talked about
the
rent,
utilities,
and we've said that rent, that is a man.
Negotiable, it's a man.
Then we've come to school fees. So we are at school fee.
How about meals?
Meals. Let's handle the big ones. Then
big
meals.
Ones, then we come
down. So how about
school fee? Again, that one, be the man. I fully say the man.
The man should pay the school fee.
Should pay the school fees.
For all children.
All.
Okay.
The man should pay the school fees.
Guys,
there are multiple ways of making sure that you do that. Currently,
yes, as a man, pay school fees for you to join the holistic living. So what are we leaving ladies with? What are we leaving ladies with?
No, that's why we are coming to.
Okay.
We're coming there.
So right.
You see, if, now again, I just want to enlighten that because some people may see that as ambiguous in school. But that's what you should do. If you want to live holistic life, that's what you should do. There are many ways of ensuring that this happens.
Okay, say they must do that to be part of holistic living.
Holistic life.
Yes.
You must.
You must do that to be part of holistic living.
Yes. Again, when we'll be tackling finance, we'll elaborate to you how you can handle situations like school fees so that it doesn't come to you abruptly and you feel burdened with that eventuality.
Yes,
we'll talk about that.
We'll talk about that.
It's possible.
Okay. So school fee, that is a man.
The man. Rent, the man.
Rent, the man. Then we are remaining with. Now we have the house. Let's say, for example, okay. Before we get there, let's get to clothing.
Clothing.
Yes.
Wow. Now that's very interesting. I would like to tackle clothing in a very different way.
Yes.
One, of course, when you're meeting this person, you are buying your stuff, right? And then when this lady comes into the play, if she's not working, you have full responsibility of making sure that is done. If she is working,
yes.
Now that's where her money can get into.
Clothing.
She can buy herself clothing.
Yes.
To make sure that at least because you've tried to handle these huge stuffs.
Now I'm asking you, let me just, sorry for your interrupting. Now assume that your wife is working and So you are saying when your wife is working, she will take the full responsibility of buying her clothes?
Not full. It's like it shouldn't come out like a full responsibility.
Yes.
It should be like, is it a secondary per se? Okay, you see, in other words, anything that deals with provision or providing in a family should be you.
Should be
so
a
see,
man.
this clothing, you should be the one buying.
Yes.
That is one. If she is not working, it's fully you.
Yes.
If she is working, now that's where she can come in by helping you with that.
Yes.
Because already your finances have gone to settle this huge stuff.
Yeah.
She can, and that means even yours, she can surprise you with the trouser, with the suit, with the pair of shoe, with the watch. See, those are the things that beautify the relationship at the end of the day. When you're celebrating your birthday, your wife comes with a suit. When it's whatever the event, or just another day, she's back and then she brings your watch.
Very nice. But I want us to be practical. Now let's assume this is somebody who's pursuing holistic living. Then a man earns 200,000. Okay, the wife is earning half, 100,000. I'm talking about net. Yes. Okay. Now somebody who is earning 200,000, and you're a family, I think you will be living.
You've said net.
Yes. You'll be living in let's even use the rule of 15%. Rent. So 15% of 200, that one would bring us to
15.
Yes.
That's an average.
Let's have accurate.
Oh, you have the calculator.
Let me just see. Next time remind me to come with my calculator on this session. Now so that one will be if you have two, if you say it is, if you say it's 200,000, so that is 30,000. 30,000 rent. So that is 30. So 30,000, that is rent.
Which I'm sure it's not.
So we are remaining true. With. It's not true. How do you mean by it's not true?
I'm sure not. Somebody earning a net of 200,000 won't live in a house of 30,000.
They will live in a house of
an average of 40-50.
Now we are talking about holistic living,
which is, you said, will be practical.
Let's be practical.
I can guarantee you that that somebody earning 200,000,
yes,
hardly will you find that person in a 30,000 bedroom, because again that depends on the locality. You know, the house is being influenced with the location.
Why are you giving this 200,000 weight?
You say you are saying net.
Yes.
If you make it a gross, it will be something like maybe.
No, let's just talk about net
and something like that.
Let's talk about.
So you see, for you to reach this level that you're earning,
okay, then amount, give me rent.
Your lifestyle will change.
Give me rent. Give me rent on this one. But according to me,
a practical
way. I would
way.
Go with this.
A practical way.
Yes. Give me rent.
Because I don't want to.
Practical. This is practical. Actually, this is practical. I've worked hard. I can earn 200 net.
If I ask
now
you,
30% of that, 50% of that is giving me 30K.
Let me not be that much personal, but how much are you earning and how much are you paying for your rent?
No, don't ask me that. What I'm asking you, what I want to tell me from this 200, how much should I pay rent?
Ideally,
what you deem practical?
Ideally,
yes,
30 is good enough. But again, as I'm saying,
now
it's
what you deem practical?
It's being influenced by
a location.
The location.
Yes.
You see, let's say when you are working in the CBD,
yes,
of your workplaces within the CBD,
yes,
right? So you'll find that the closer you are to the CBD, the more expensive theirs will be. So that 30,000 closer to the CBD will be very, very far away.
Okay, I don't want us to really, that part will make it, will take a larger part of conversation, but I don't want us to really focus onto that. So please just give me a figure that you are comfortable
with. An average of 45.
Okay, 45.
Yes.
So 45 from, you take 45 from 200. That is just rent only. We have not paid water,
electricity. And electricity, give it something like at most
5K.
No, 5K is a lot. At most 3,000.
A house which you are paying 45, you can use electricity of 2,000.
Yes.
I don't know. And
What do you use in the house for that?
There is a washing laundry.
Regardless of whichever place you are staying, the consumption of power will be the same.
It's the same.
Because what differs is the how should I call it? The electronic devices.
That's what I'm saying. The person, because you already said that this person can't. This is a person of lifestyle, as you are mentioning. So this person will have all these gadgets. So that's why 2,000 is not practical to me.
Okay, 3,000 then.
3,000. That is high. Okay. Electricity. If you compare cost of electricity and the cost of water, you shall find that electricity is higher than what?
Yes.
Water. So that's why I was allocating 5,000 so that electricity take 3,000.
Okay.
Then water take 2,000.
Okay, that's
so
50.
That is
50.
5,000. So 5,000 plus 45, that is 50. So we at 50, we are remaining with 150.
Yes.
So far, this man is higher by 50K. Now, let's get to school fee. Assume that you have 2 children, which you are paying maybe 25,000 per month. I mean per term.
25,000
per term.
per term.
School fee.
Okay, first, if it were me, I couldn't go that direct way of me taking the 25 to the fee, to school fee.
So let's okay. How would you do it?
I'd go the insurance way.
The insurance way.
Yes.
But that's planning. So we see our viewers, some of our viewers are the people who are not exposed to these ideas. So assume we are now talking about somebody who was just someone who was just is that called? Where is that called?
I don't know.
Or is there?
Just proceed.
Oh, okay. Now let's assume that we are talking to one of our viewers is somebody who have not known this, okay, about planning for school fees and all this. So this somebody wants to mimic or adopt this holistic living. Now, this person has been paying school fees like that, okay, from the paycheck, okay. So let's just say average of 20, like I said, it's 25 per child each term. So for the two of them, that is 50K is gone.
No.
Yes.
Because if you're saying per term, a term has at least 3 months or 4 months.
Yes.
Right?
Yes.
So if I divide my 25 per term, that comes to an average of, is it 7 or 6? That means remove 6.
So I remove.
So if I have 2 kids,
12.
12.
Okay, let me remove 12. So I've removed 12. So I'm remaining with 1.
From 150, we were at 150, we removed 12, we are left with 138.
138.
Yes.
So right. Now then, from there, what else is remaining? Savings and all that.
We have the savings, we have
and even
transport
and
if I have to go to
and
work.
all that.
We have food, we've not catered for food.
Nice. Now we are at a point, let's assume that all those, if we remove them, this man is going to remain with 50. Okay? 50. Now,
which all, in this case, you've covered all the food and everything.
Yes.
And the clothing and all that.
Because you will not be buying bulk of clothes every month. Yes, you will. It's something that you can buy 2 or maybe some months you can skip. Yes, something like that. So, the wife is still remaining with the 100. So let's get to the wife. So how do you go about that now?
You see, when you asked me about the clothing of the wife.
Yes.
We had not concluded on how all this is spent.
It's okay. It's okay.
So
just talk about the wife with this 100.
By the time you left me at clothing,
Yes.
I said the wife. It is my responsibility to buy the clothing for my wife.
Yes.
In this event, my wife is working.
Yes.
Part of this 100 will be used to buy her clothes.
Yes.
She'll buy her shoes. She'll surprise me with shoes.
Yes.
That means those minor stuff.
Yes.
That's where her money will get into.
Let me remind them. Wives, they are watching. Surprise for your husbands is mandatory.
That's where
Yes.
the money will go to.
Okay.
Those small stuff. Again, food.
Yes.
Food stuff. That's also where
The money goes.
The money goes to.
Yes.
Because we may do a shopping.
So
a
to what
monthly
limit?
shopping.
To what limit?
To what limit? How do you mean?
Okay, the food. How much
Okay,
should
you
the ladies chip in when it comes to food? Or you just say that you are sorted, you always eat your wife's food. You always find food prepared because
No.
she's earning.
No, not necessarily.
Yes. So what is the limit?
What's happening is, I'm working with an ideal thing. You've done the shopping.
Yes.
So once the shopping is done, you'll realize that because for this money to be reduced from, you remember you left it at 112,
Yes.
at 138.
Yes.
And you've taken it back to 50.
Yes.
That means you've spent over 70 something.
Yes.
So I want to understand where this 70 something have gone to, because remember I've paid rent, I've paid school fees, which are ambiguous in that case, all that. So it means even if it's
So
shopping, I've done a proper
this 70
shopping.
something is going to transport, commute allowance. We have to put there something like 15k. Then after commuter, or if you remove that one already, it's already 50 something. Eh? If
No,
you
we were at 138. Once you remove 15, I've not even hit 100 yet.
Okay, I'm talking about the 70. The 70. If you remove the 70, they'll say that it was already reduced by 70.
It is
I'm
more than
accounting for
70.
this 70.
It's more than 70. I'm just using an abrupt figure.
Okay.
Or an
So
allocation.
okay, if even if you okay, you were
Well,
saying this
look
one
at
that
this,
something.
look at this, eh?
Yeah. Yes.
What I'm saying is, out of this 100 that my wife is earning,
Yes.
what that money does is those miscellaneous stuff. Maybe tomorrow she goes into the shop or into the supermarket, she noticed some spoon, she comes with.
Yes.
Or she's just walking around, whatever, and then she realizes we need some hangers, she comes home with them, or those miscellaneous stuff.
Okay, no problem.
Her transport, if she's working,
Yes.
that's also where that money goes to, because she also needs to cater for the transport. That's where we pick it from.
Yes. Now, what about furniture in the house?
Furniture, by far, by the time that
A replacement.
one is
I'm not talking
coming,
about the
because
initial
a
one.
replacement. I don't do a one-time replacement. It's a planned thing. I won't come out with my 200 and be like, from this 200 I'm going to do a replacement today with 100.
Because
It's a planned
in
thing.
most families you find that ladies usually take part in replacing the furniture.
They do, but for me, I won't. I'll be the one doing that, if I am.
Okay, you fear something.
Wow. One day, if you didn't start right, you'll come back to the
Okay,
house and realize
so-
that the house is empty.
So you are saying that you are only comfortable if your wife is meeting partially meals.
Partially means clothings.
Then let me tell you the danger of this. There's something I was trying to bring up with the accounting I was doing. Whatever I was trying to mention is
I know where you're heading to. You're heading to a point that now the woman has more than me. You get?
not just there, but now she has more. She has float, and with this float, she can now try opportunities with this money. She can put this money into invest, because you say that your money is your money. So she's using that money in her capacity. Okay? So if she's a smart lady, she can use this money and invest this money and increase the revenue stream, our revenue streams. And at that point, if you are just sticking with your employment, because of course where you are being paid over 3,000, your commitment is really needed there. So I'm not very sure if you're still having ample time to try also focus on other things. This will be your main job. And this lady is already having some money here loitering around that she can put somewhere, because you've not given strict that this should go here, this should go here, this should go here.
Okay.
So I really think the best way to go about this, but even that one's okay, because I know whatever you are trying to protect, and I know it, I also fear it, and I would not wish to get there. So what we should do, we can just I don't see a problem if a wife meet part of school fee of my child. I don't see a problem with that, because we are empowering our children. There's no problem with that. What you can just do, ensure that the ratio you're contributing to that project is higher than the lady, Because in all, what we are trying to be holistic, and being holistic means that we have to go with the natural laws. And in anything we are doing, a man should always take bigger stake in that thing, because we are leaders. Okay, we should lead in a family. So even in expenses, you must lead. You should not just want to lead in terms of power and in terms of resources or in terms of revenue. You are not leading. So we must lead in all, even in these expenses and the revenue. You understand? We started very well to say that finances, you must be higher. So in revenue, in cost also you must be higher, of which in cost in a household is called expenses. Now these expenses also you must take bigger part of it. I agree, rent you cannot share. You should not share. Rent you can pay all, and if you have a house, then that house, yes, it is ours by virtue, but in the title deed, I'm the one. Okay?
How many will accept that?
Nah?
How many will accept that?
No, it is. If she want another house, she can just have an investment. But the one we are living, I'm supposed to be the owner of that house. Then if she want to own her home, she can build that one, then rent it out. That is another additional revenue. I have no problem with that.
So when she does that,
yes,
and then she rents it out,
yes,
that's hers, right?
Yes.
The revenue that comes from that house is
yes. Hers. She's increasing. Okay, you see, when we're in a relationship, or when you are in a family, you are two different people brought together. So you have your own ideologies, I have own ideologies. You have own finances, I have my own finances. We are bringing them together. We are being brought together. Of which this is so evident when now things are not good, such that people are filing divorce. So you find that you continue with their life, the other person also continue with their lives. So whereby you find that usually the children are the one now binding us. So it means the only relative we have here is the children. You, a wife and a husband, they are different people. Okay? So that's why I'm saying, if this lady is pursuing, this lady is trying to do the investments on her own, there's no problem. She can do that. She can just have the investment, but then you have to maintain that. So anytime she's doing those of course you are talking, you communicate.
Okay.
So she invests, you're also investing.
If you started that conversation very well,
yes,
by saying, looking at how the deployment of this income happens, and you are at a point that now the wife has more.
Yes, yes.
Now, the risk that you even mentioned then was that she has allowance, she has more.
Yes.
Than what you have.
Yes.
That means she can do more with that.
Yes.
I'm assuming that if that's the case, then by the time she's doing the building,
yes,
you want to be, because your resources won't equate that. If I was to handle, if I'm looking at an ideal situation that we are agreeing, I'm assuming we started right.
Yes.
You get everything is working well.
Yes.
I'm working, my wife is working.
Yes.
What I could do, I could have 3 portions of resource allocation.
Yes.
1,
yes,
my money.
Yes.
2, her money.
Yes.
And 3, our money.
Yes.
Now,
so that's a sources of revenue.
Yes.
Okay.
That's how I could have allocated what we've brought. I've brought what my income.
Sources of revenue.
Yes.
Okay.
Like it's a pool. I'm creating pools.
Yes.
For this money.
Yes, of course.
Out of this pool, I'll provide more, of course. She provides, she also tops up into this pool.
Let's work with the ratio.
A ratio.
Yes.
I'll work with a ratio of maybe 5:2.
5:2. Okay.
Now in that, it's from that pool that now I may, if I'm very specific here, that you are very sure you started well and you did the due diligence to make sure that it is the correct thing.
Yes.
Right?
Yes.
So it is from this pool that I'll use to settle the bills. Those school fees, those rent, those whatever the thing. Now, the rest that she's left with is what now she'll do her miscellaneous stuff. Maybe the clothing, the stuff like that.
So if I get you well, You are trying to say that you are going to create what you call a fund. You have a fund, and this fund is being funded by two people. That is you and your wife. And the proportion of contribution to this fund is what now differ.
Yes.
You are the one contributing the larger percentage to that fund.
Yes.
Then your wife is contributing a smaller percentage of that fund.
Yes.
So whatever has gone to that fund, she has no control of that.
Yes.
That is now for the project,
all
everything about this family.
Yes.
Yeah, it's ideal. Yeah, that's ideal. That's ideal.
That's what I could do.
So whatever remains.
Now, whatever remains, that's what she'll do with her transport allowance, her clothing, surprises to me, and then also what is left on my side is what I'll do for surprising her, or to buying myself some stuff, or if even taking ourselves out. If we are like we need to have a date, that's where I'll get that.
Now I have a question. Now this fund is created. This fund ideally it does not have a name. It's just a allocation. It's just an allocation. Okay. Now this fund, I'm assuming that this fund has some money and you want to build property with this fund. Whose name will be on the title deed?
On the property, if again, that goes with what I said, working right, starting right.
Yes. Assume you started right.
It's like I need to sneeze. Anyway, wow, where is this sneeze coming from? Okay, so we want to do a project.
Yes.
And
from
which
that
kind
fund
of project?
I've said you want to build an apartment.
An apartment?
Yes.
No, if I am to build an apartment, I want to build it from that fund.
You want to build it from?
If, again, that goes back to starting right. If I started right, then from that pool,
yes,
because I'm not working with an assumption that something bad may happen. So if it's from this pool, I pick it from there. The title deed will be mine. My name will be the one written in that title deed.
Oh, the ladies won't agree.
The reason being,
the lady won't agree because because you see, with this a pool,
you don't know how much was used in that pool. You don't know what portion in that pool was used.
So you will have to tell the lady that how much was used in this pool.
No, I won't have to. My lady won't ask me that. My lady will believe that what I'm doing is the right thing that ought to have been done. Do we have the project?
You see, yes. let us be practical here. Let us not lie to each other. Let us not lie to each other.
If we started right.
No, now, let us not lie to each other. You see, when any lady, even if you start right, so long as this lady knows very well that she contributed to that pool, then the fund that have been used to finance that property is from this pool. The name of that lady must appear there. Even if you will see how you will say in that property that ratio contributed is this percent.
No.
So if to avoid all that, then you should need not to fear. If you started right, you need not to fear. Just feature the name of that lady, because after all, you will go and leave these things to your kids. No, what's the problem there?
Okay, as I said.
Yes.
What happens here is coming from a point of trust.
Yes.
And from a point of honesty.
Yes.
You get?
Yes.
In that case, what is happening is we are not expecting anything wrong.
Yes.
You get?
Yes.
So me having my name there is not bad.
What about, I could also ask why? Okay, let's assume she's the one, her name is there. What's wrong with that?
It starts
because it's not limited.
You said as the project is, right? The
Yes.
purpose of the, let's say for example, you've done a rental.
Yes.
You've built a rental, right?
Yes.
Now in this rental, you are saying we're starting by the land itself, buying.
Let's just assume
all that.
Let's just assume the whole
ownership.
cost of that building. Maybe if you are going a finished house, you're just going to buy that.
The best thing I could do,
yes,
I would say so and family. That would be the ownership that I could give that. So and so family.
You see, there's something you don't understand here. I want to let you know this. Anytime you are registering something, it's either natural entity or we called it, we have a natural being and artificial being, whereby these companies are registered. Anything that it's not human being in nature, but it's having legal existence. So they fall under artificial entities organization. So you are saying that you are going to say that so and so in the family, and there will be identification when you're registering that. The only that so is with the one which will be found. The family, there is that family won't be there. For the case of, for example, you see these law firms, they usually register them like so and the family. That's come because it is registered. That's how it is registered in the books of registrar. So in your case, that is not possible. You either register yourself with her.
Why is it not possible?
The family is not registered anywhere.
And why is it that in the law firm the family is registered?
The family is registered because that is the name of that company. It's registered that way in the books of registrar.
Oh, when I'm getting you're putting that in terms of the law firm working as a company.
Yes.
And so on.
Yes.
But this one working as just a property.
This is a property.
This is a property.
Not really. This is a property which is being bought. We look at who is buying this property. Okay, when you are transferring
or
this property.
Building.
Who is building? You are the one who is building this property. It's either you or your wife or all of you together. You understand? So there is no different entity called family. There is no that family registered anywhere. So it's either you say Kola Kodek, or it is you Kola Kodek with the name of that your spouse. So it's those or your spouse alone. So those are the only names possible. So the way you are trying to solve that, you are riding away by saying, unless if you go register a organization called so and the family, then it takes that ownership.
As I'm telling you, what I'll do in any ownership, if we have to do that pool of fund, there will be that artificial person who is running on this stuff. So if it's resources or we're building such kind of assets, I'll go with that idea
of creating an artificial, registering a company, which now be acquiring on your behalf. So if you do that, then you should. Then again, we go back to the shareholders in that artificial.
Now the shareholders can be many.
So it's you and your family.
Yes, it's me and my family.
Okay.
The shareholders, I can't.
So that is the only way you could have solved that. But okay, let's help these people, because you see this, you are now talking for yourself, which will not work for men. It's so complicated that somebody really need to go. It's not practical. Somebody really need to go register organization is when they buy property in the name of organization. That's a really bit bureaucratic.
No, it's not bureaucratic.
Yes.
It's thinking past generations. You see, when you're solving you're solving problems for generations. You're not looking something in terms of me now.
And it's okay. It's okay. I understand you. The way you are taking me, you are now taking me in the field of investment in deep. But you see, there's some challenges there you are going to. There is an average person who is not even sure of reaching to a point of registering a company. We can't say that all people will be having companies. Because after all, who will be the employees there? So society must remain balanced. There are people who will remain employees forever, and there are people who will be employers. Okay? So that will make a balanced economy. So what I'm saying, let's talk even to the people who will remain employees forever, so that we have a solution for all of them. Okay, for those people who will be having the capabilities of registering your corporation, having your company, you want to acquire through your company, no problem with that. Yes, but there are those people who also, that could be just a dream. Okay, though human is limited, but there are people who, you know very well, you've made some mistakes, and the time remaining is not enough to do what? To have that happen. So what I'm saying is, if you started right, okay, if you started right, we have two ways how we can go about this. You can just motivate your lady. If you buy one property, then you can also just motivate your lady to also buy hers. There's no problem.
Why?
Just motivating her to make her feel that she's also a landlady somewhere. Because even if you buy, sometimes you can just gift your lady one of them, the buildings. Yes, just gift your lady one of the buildings.
We were with you in one of our previous episodes.
Yes.
And we discussed about a very common thing that happened in relationships.
Yes.
It's a birthday and you're being gifted a car.
Yes.
And then your woman buys your woman a car.
Yes.
If you buy your woman a car,
yes,
whose name will be on the logbook?
So that will depend with that scenario. So I can choose the...
now this is the scenario that
okay,
we are working
now,
as you are.
Okay, if I'm buying myself, if I'm buying I just give transfer the title.
Transfer, so she'll be the one.
Yes, the owner of that.
The owner of
whatever, the asset.
What changed your mind since we talked last?
No, I've not changed my mind. What I'm just trying to say, this is
okay.
The other one I was talking when you did not start right.
Okay, you see, if we started right and we are looking at a holistic thing, from the word holistic,
yes,
all we are always trying to do is to zero this thing to one.
Yes.
We won't want to have the division of this and this.
Yes.
We are trying to make sure that all these things are adding up to one.
Yeah.
It's integral.
Yes.
So this of having my house and her house, it's already beginning to create division.
No, it's not a division, because even, why don't you just have one job?
One job?
Yes. You have one job.
Okay. What about if we just build that house and again it's regardless of whose name it's on it?
No, you can't say that. If you want to bring the neutrality, then you should say that you go the way of registering what?
Yes.
An entity which purchasing this is ours. Okay? If you register entity whereby the entity is the one buying that home in the name of that entity, and the entity you own.
That's what I'm telling you. That's what I'm telling you. If you started right, and you're saying you started right,
yes,
there's no need of that going of my wife and mine.
So whose name is going to appear?
Me.
Why you? You are going to be self-centered.
No, it's not being self-centered.
Yes.
It's the hierarchy of leadership. It's the hierarchy.
Yes.
You see, it's if we follow the holistic
so
way
let
of
me ask you a question. Is it fair to say that being that you are the leader, yes, and even the junior contributed something to this fund,
yes,
and their name don't appear because they're the junior?
Not because they are the junior.
Yes.
It's because that is the order of leadership. That's the order. You can't say today that because you, or let's say for example, it happens. What example can I use? A sweet example. You've revamped your dad's home or your mom's home.
Yes.
Then will you now say that that's your house, or if you build them house?
No, I want to say
it's theirs, regardless of you being the one who was
the title remain theirs.
That's what I'm saying.
And now I'm saying
leadership.
That,
you see that order of leadership?
Yes.
It's me.
Yes.
So long as you know that I started right, I'm not going to be compromised. I am going to make sure that I...
Okay, so see the problem with I can't take that risk because I don't know whether I started... Majority don't know whether they started right or not, because if you go with that, so many people are going to be victims.
Of?
Victims. They are going to be victims of land grabbing and all this.
What you're pushing
yes,
is very okay.
Yes.
But it doesn't work with the holistic way. You're giving chances to the event that it didn't start right. So if you are saying you are addressing this in two particular ways,
yes,
you're addressing it with the one that did right,
yes,
and then you're addressing it with the one that are not sure whether they did right or not. You distinguishedly say that if you did this, this is how it's ideal to go. If this is how you started, and you're not so sure, this is the ideal way to do.
Let me ask you. Let me ask you. What is it that makes you not to feature the name of this lady in this property? And you're one.
That's what I'm saying.
Yes.
We are one.
Yes.
So it's me.
And you started right.
You see even in the marriage, when you say in the marriage,
yes,
look at the books of the Holy Bibles.
Yes.
They say the woman
forms
part of the husband.
Yes.
It's not the husband forming part of the...
Yes.
So the woman is onboarding the lifestyle or the living of the husband.
Yes.
So in that case, it means the husband gives the lineage or the leadership of how that family should be running.
Yes.
You get. Yes. So it's not a matter of what's wrong or what's not wrong.
Now let's assume let's assume that it's okay. Your name is the one in all the properties that you own, because you say you are the leader. And something happened. Things happened. Something happened, and now you feel like you want to add another lady.
No.
How will that work?
The moment you've said you're adding another lady,
Yes.
that means you again you didn't start right.
Yes.
So we can't classify you under the one who started the holistic living in the first place.
Now,
that's why I'm telling you. See that example you're using?
Okay, then
that should fall under the ones who are not so sure whether you did it right or
let us
wrong.
do this, because those are the majority. The majority are the ones that they don't know whether they started right or not. So if you do not start right or not, don't take that chance as a lady or as a man, because you can't. This is like you are helping somebody to build, like you are blind.
No.
You are helping someone to build the properties. Then after all, this person.
Do you know why I fully disagree with
Yes.
that? I fully disagree with that when it comes to when you are saying you are defining holistic life with the process of starting right. If you are addressing it as you are saying, whether you didn't know whether you started right or wrong,
Yes.
then you leave the chances there, because you're like, anything can happen. I'm not so sure.
Yes.
Anything can happen.
Yes.
So in that case, that's now where, because it's, you see, even what
So
you are using it as a security.
Yes.
You are saying that this person, in the event
Yes.
that he adds.
Yes.
You see, it's like you're using it for a security.
You need to be secure.
When you're using it
Okay,
as a
so let us do this. Let us have a consensus, because time has gone. We need to wind up this. Now, I want you, because I know the majority are those people who are not sure whether they started right or not. They leave it that God knows. Okay? So, how do we handle those? When they are buying a property, what should they do? Let's talk to them first.
To the ones that you don't know whether you started right or you started wrong.
Yes.
Okay. Now, in the event that that happens, again, if I was to do such event, or for them to do such kind of properties,
Yes, just advise them directly.
then
Look at
that's what happens.
Yes.
Now I'll do the side. The husband will have the kids. The wife will have. They'll have the ones that they have commonly. Both of them. It's allowed. You can do yours as the wife. Have your properties that has your name and your stuff, your asset.
Yes.
As the husband have yours that have your name and all your assets.
Yes.
If you have in any event that you want to do for your kids, also you can just start any with the name of your kids or stuff like that. That would be the ideal way to do if you are not so sure whether you started it right or wrong.
So,
but at any given point,
Yes.
I would still wish to make sure that even if I'm still proceeding with the journey,
Yes.
I see how I can always make sure that I'm eyeing at making sure that I fight for the family to be a name that exists even in the future That means I'll work to make sure I don't know whether I started right or wrong.
yes.
But what I'm looking at, it's beyond me.
Yes.
I want to look at this thing from our kids going forward.
Yes.
If there's a way we can come up with making sure that we have a common artificial name for the family, that's what I'll do.
Yes. Now, that is we've talked. Okay, we've talked for those who are not sure whether they started right or not. Now, summarize for those who started right.
For those who started right, no worries about the husband.
So properties, you started by saying that from your salaries or from your revenue streams, you bring them together, like not bringing together per se, but you create a fund. Then in this fund, you contribute in a proportion to this fund. Then the money from that fund is what will be used to do the investments. And the name in the title, on the title will bear the name of the husband. So that is for those people who started right.
If you started right and then you don't have you
need
don't
not
want
worry.
to go the company way.
Or the company way, registering a company which are acquiring on your behalf.
Yes, if you don't want to go that way.
The legal person.
Even if you started right, I would still advise the way of going the company way.
Okay, the legal way, you see, the main reason why people usually recommend the legal way, or let's say having the registering or creating artificial person, is to ensure that this artificial person don't die. Natural people die.
Yes.
Okay, so natural people die, artificial people don't die. For example, these companies, they don't die. We say that they live. They're having a life. They continue living in the foreseeable future. Yes, their life, they have that continuity. They will keep on living generation to generation. So yeah, so if you have to leave a legacy, yeah, that's right.
And what's not good with living holistic life and living a legacy?
Yeah,
Everybody would want to leave a legacy. You see, currently there are some names that when you just mention,
yes,
everybody knows that. You just say you come from that family.
Yes.
And how did they do it? You'll realize that in that there's that
they have created a lot of
artificial
they have registered many corporations
under that particular person.
Yes,
that does that.
So one bit before we close this, I think that's it has been a very insightful session. So one thing, what do you think about your parents? What's the ratio? Because it usually find that many ladies, they usually focus on their parents and not your parents. So, and sometimes they usually overcloud us with love, so that you forget totally your parents, because if the lady focus on her parents, you're supposed also to be focusing on your parents. Okay, so but sometimes find that men usually are being overclouded with love, so that they also help the lady focusing the other side, so that they leave their place undeveloped. So what can you say? What can you say about that?
I'll not leave it largely at parents, because the request that normally come from both sides is different. It comes parents, siblings, and all that. Yes. So what I'll do,
just say their homes.
Say,
their homes. Yeah.
I do not. Again, I'd still classify the two.
Yes.
Either you started right or you didn't start right.
Yes.
And again, if you are not so sure, please take a look at our previous episode. It will let you know how you can really tell whether you are starting right or not. But now, in the event that I didn't start right, again, this depends on the personality.
Yes.
If you have that kind of a human, I wouldn't say that all women are like that. That I would be lying. That all women tend to put their people first than you, or than the family. There's some women who value the family they've created with their husband than their side. And then there are also men. Okay,
a point of correction, or let me just interrupt. I'm trying to compare, not this one. Of course, this one will come first. The one that you've created, your family will come first. But when I'm talking about their home, you have your home, where you came from.
Oh, where it came from, and
there's another home where she came from.
Okay.
So those are the two the areas I'm trying to compare, because you'll find that there are those ladies that once they come to this marriage, their resources they send to the other side, and also they also push you to do what? To send resources to their home back where they came from. You understand?
Okay.
And your side, nothing is going there. So activities are not taking place on the other side.
That's not ideal, because if that happens, that means there's something that man is also lacking.
Yes.
He's not a holistic man.
Yes.
Because for you to reach a point that a lady can put you to that position, then it means there's something you're lacking.
Yes.
A man should be as rational as he can be. So a man should not be moved.
Let me ask you
that much.
Let's assume that let's assume that, for example, in the society, do you think what percentage of those people? What percentage?
So that's why we're here. Yes, we are here to tell them what to do.
Now I'm asking you.
First thing.
Sorry, I'm asking you. What percentage do you think are falling under the people who are not?
A good percentage.
A good percentage.
Yes.
So let us. Is it a 50-50 or 50-70?
Let's give it a 40-60.
40-60. So the 60 are the ones that are lost.
I wouldn't really.
Yeah, they're lost. Don't fear saying they're lost. They're lost.
Fine.
Yes.
It's wrong. Whatever you're doing, if that's what you're doing, that's a very, very bad thing to do.
Yes.
To the 60.
Yes.
This is what needs to happen.
Yes.
You should stop it immediately.
Yes.
Bring yourself back. Strengthen your mind very well.
Yes.
Be masculine as you should.
Yes.
Think straight.
Yes.
Don't be moved by emotion, because you said they are moved by love.
Yes.
And you see, women are very funny. Women. There's an article I read previously that women really don't love.
They don't love.
Yes. I'll share that article with you. Women are not meant to love.
They are meant to.
Okay, that's a
Just
story
mention
for another
that
day.
because
That's a story for another.
just clear that.
Okay, if you look at this thing biblically, if you look at it biblically, ladies were not meant to love. It was men to do the loving.
Yes.
Now the ladies were reciprocating the love with respect. That's why a man's language of love is respect. To whoever rich the lady is, if that lady doesn't respect that man and that man is masculine enough,
Yes.
he won't stay. The only way to translate love to a man is by respect. And how do you show respect? You respect the decision he make, you respect the action that he take, you respect all that comes with him.
So in short, we are trying to tell our viewers that what ladies should do is to respect their husbands. Then in consideration, they should expect love from men.
Exactly.
That's what you are trying to say.
That's what happens.
Okay, so right. Now let's not get too much. Let's not delve much into that. So there's we just winding. Yeah? We're just winding.
You are saying that we should address the 60 people who are getting convinced with the emotions of their women, thinking it's love.
Yes.
So that they neglect their place or their homes as they support their women's homes.
Yes.
So the first thing that I would tell these men is to man up, to stop that action. Yes. They need to be men enough.
But the problem, they won't hear you.
If they won't hear me, then they are not here to live the holistic life.
Yeah, they are not ready for that.
Just to making sure that.
But let's just give them the awareness.
Yes.
Okay.
Stop whatever you're doing. It's wrong. That which you are doing is very wrong. Be masculine enough. Think straight. Be the man you need to be. And then in the event that you need to support these homes, it's not wrong to support your woman's place, and then it's not wrong to support your home's place. But again, a limit comes. Yes. There was just another day I was scrolling over the internet, and then I saw a man complaining that the woman's side were asking for his support to pay the school fees, while the dad or the husband or the father to these ladies is just a reckless dad who drinks a lot. He's just earning his money and drinks without taking care of the responsibility of that family. I wouldn't say that that is ideal to my opinion. Support.
But of course we see these children, they are innocent. So we can't really punish the children because the school fee was for the children. The children are innocent.
There's better ways of making sure that happens.
There are
laws today. There are laws today that make sure that you as a father, if you are joking around with taking care of your family, somebody puts you into books. There are laws there that are making sure that your kid can't can't get educated because you're joking around with the nini.
Okay, so right. So let's just wind up this. We'll get into that next time. So otherwise, guys, thank you for watching. We are really pushing or pursuing the holistic living, because the holistic living will make you enjoy living. So thank you for watching. See you in the next episode. Maybe you can just wrap up.
Thank you so much for having this session. We appreciate. We don't take that for granted. And yeah, see you in the next episode.
Bye.